Hello, this is Ken Bottcher, also known as Bad Ken on the Battleforge forums and Karch in the game. This is going to be my last single-player nature replay for a while, at least until EA comes up with some more single-player maps. This is Ocean, which is at the end, the last single-player map in the Renegade campaign currently. I've done all the other ones with the nature deck, except Mo. I did that with a frost deck because nature just makes it too easy. And actually, this map, Ocean, is pretty easy too, once you know the tricks and how to deal with some of the trickier opponents on here. I start off with a couple of Windweavers and a Shaman and go right up to the hill and start attacking things. And as soon as the first dropship shows up, I send it immediately over to the west. And it's going to go over there and clear an island in the southwest and score myself a Death Ray once I've fed the Death Ray Summoner enough corpses. I've seen actually several different replays of this, and some people tend to be able to get the Death Rays quicker than I was able to in this map. I'm not really sure how that works. But you can see it's actually possible to kite this Sky Hunter around with the dropship and not get frozen. I screwed up at the beginning there and got frozen and had to use a heal spell to keep my dropship up. But if you go around in circles, his little paralyzing attack won't hit you. So I killed the dropship there to feed the corpse to the Death Ray Summoner, and the Windweavers have finished the group of defenders that they pulled away from the first tower here. Now they're going to just stand in place and take out the tower and the strikers at the same time. They're actually not called strikers. I don't know what the bandit name of them is, but they act like strikers. When I'm done with those, I need to back off because this Nox Trooper-like guy, Bandit Sniper, can one-shot. Well, it can almost one-shot the Windweavers. You see, right there, it knocked that one group down and almost killed them. It can't quite one-shot them, though. But I have to pull it back because there's a Bandit healing pool in the middle there, and trying to attack it would be fruitless. It would just heal constantly. So I wasn't able to pull it back, unfortunately, so I have to advance the Windweavers and take out the healing pool first, and then the Nox Trooper. I'm sorry, the Bandit Sniper. So I've got another dropship showing up, and I used it to drop some archers, some Sunstriders, and then I killed both the Sunstriders and the dropship. And I actually had to summon in a unit of Windweavers on that island too, and that was enough to summon in the Death Ray. And on easier difficulties, actually, you can summon more than one Death Ray. But on expert difficulty, you only get one. So my Windweavers have got taken care of that Bandit Sniper and the healing pool, and are now just basically taking care of the towers and the Bandit spawning ground there. I've got another dropship, and I'm going to keep it hanging around my Shamans and Windweavers for now, because some flying units are coming in shortly that the dropship will be able to help with. And I parked the Death Ray near the power well that was on that island to heal it up, and as soon as it was healed, I brought it over here to help with the next flying attack that's coming in. So we've cleared out this first area, and now we got some aerial assault coming in. We got some birds, some more Sky Hunters, and a Raven ship. The Raven ship only shows up on expert difficulty, and it's actually kind of a pain, especially if you don't have the Death Ray to deal with it. Now see there, I didn't get away from the Sky Hunter in time. I was standing right in front of it, and I got paralyzed by the attack. I kept both of my sky ships paralyzed. Here comes the Raven ship, and I'm using the dropship to just kind of bring it in and shoot missiles at it from range, and then I'm going to have everybody else attack. The nice thing about attacking it here on the shore like this is that your Shamans can heal your dropships and your Death Ray. So I've built up the second orb. I'm not really going to do anything with two orbs yet, though. I kind of have everything that I need in hand right here. I'm using the dropship to kill the birds on the next island, and I'm going to use the Death Ray to kill the tower. the Shaman and Windweavers are finishing off the first island and are going to take the first teleporter over to the next island. And the Death Ray is just going to slowly work its way around and blast everything that it sees. This is a double speed replay, and you can see how slow the Death Ray is moving. It's a very slow unit. At this point, the dropship is pretty much done its job. The only thing that it really needs, that I really need it for from here on out, is maybe kiting some Raven ships and dropping some Sunstriders on islands, because I'm going to use mostly flying units coming up here. Once I get the third orb built, I really don't need anything but flying units. The Death Ray may be slow, but it's very powerful. It does a massive amount of splash damage too. It took a couple of shots to take out that that anti-air tower, 2 shots to take out these towers, and the splash damage is taking out surrounding units. Like this tower here, two shots to take out the tower, and as a bonus, we get the bird that was next to the tower at the same time. Here's the next Raven ship, and I've sent the dropship down there to keep it busy, even though the dropship really can't do very much damage to it. And in fact, the dropship didn't get there in time to pull it away from the power well. Fortunately, I think I've used most of the power in that power well. Anyway, the dropship will bring it up to this island while the Death Ray is finishing off the rest of the ground units there. Dropship gets a couple heals on the way in, but now the Death Ray has to turn around and help finish off the Raven ship. And oh, I let the Raven ship get too close to my Windweavers and Shaman, and it used a barrage and finished them off, mostly. But that's okay, because I don't really need them anymore. Here's the third orb right here, and I'm about to take it. And once I have the third orb, it's Enlightenment and Giant Worms from here on out. I used my Pure Nature deck for this. I could have put Red Dragons, the Era 4 Fire Dragons in there, but didn't bother. I like the Great Worms. The Giant Worms. They do a lot of damage. They don't do quite as much damage as the Fire Dragons when Fire Dragons get enraged, but also they're more expensive. But they do more basic damage and more splash damage initially. So if you're doing quick fights, the Giant Worms are actually better. So here comes the third orb. The next Raven ship is coming in from the south, and there's my first Enlightenment spell, my first Giant Worm, and he's going to get some help from a Swamp Drake. Swamp Drakes, again, have that XL attack bonus, and these Raven ships are XL units. So it's good to have them mixed in there with the Giant Worms to pack a little extra punch. And I pretty much finished off this island here, except that there are some mines next to that gold mine and the next power well, so I'm sacrificing 1 unit of Windweavers to take out those mines. Unfortunately, as you will see later, I didn't get all of the mines. There are actually more than 3 mines there. I think there are 5. I only got the first 3, and it's going to cause me problems later on. There's a lot of mistakes in this replay. I think I should probably call it, how not to do Ocean or something. But actually, the strategy is pretty good. I kind of stole the strategy from a replay that I saw on BF Cards, and I'm sorry I don't remember whose replay it was. Sorry, I can't really give credit there, but it's not mine. It's one of the quicker ways that I've seen to do Ocean, because it takes some shortcuts, as you'll see. Now I wanted to clear this island here just to get the power well on there and to get the gold. And I also wanted to use it as kind of a staging area for any ships that were coming in, any Raven ships that were coming in from the west. The next Raven ship, I think, is coming from the southwest. So I sent my dragons up north, and then I realized, oh yeah, Raven ship coming, better send them south to help deal with the Raven ship. They're not technically really needed, because I think the dropship and the Death Ray can finish off the Raven ship on their own, but the dragons will make it a little quicker. As you see, 1 heal, few seconds, Raven ship's gone. So now we're going to send everybody up back to that western island, and I'm going to leave the dropship behind, and the well, the Death Ray is getting behind all by itself because it's so slow. Drop some Sunstriders on this island and build the power well there and grab the gold, and then sacrifice them for the void power because they've done their job. Another enlightenment spell, and I'm about to go and take the 4th orb. Bring in another swamp drake. So we got 3 giant worms, 2 swamp drakes, and the swamp drakes actually in this attacking this island are not a real good idea, because these Boom Brothers looking bandits, bandit lieutenants I think they are, do this huge boom attack. They kick off with the boom attack, and it knocks back everything. It knocks back the giant worms, but it one-shots the swamp drakes. So the swamp drakes didn't last. But we did clear that area enough for a landing zone for some Sunstriders, and I can drop the Sunstriders there and get that 4th orb up along with those power wells. I want to be careful not to move the Sunstriders too far to the east because there are several towers over there, and I also didn't want to build up. I wanted to build just the orb in the left power well. The right power well I think is in range of the bombard. And there you see, there were 3 more mines there. I inadvertently moved my Time Shifter Spirit onto those mines, and he died, along with the power well. Now you can see the Death Ray and the dropship taking care of a Raven ship all on their own, with a little help from Regrowth, now that I have my 4th orb up. Regrowth is a great healing spell. Massive amounts of healing. That Raven ship could just be pounding away. It heals faster than almost anything can do damage, except a boss, maybe. And I bring another Time Shifter Spirit, and here's yet another oopsie. I brought in a Time Shifter Spirit to the right of those power wells, and I didn't have the bombard out yet, so the Time Shifter Spirit got bombarded. But he did heal the giant worms first, so he served his purpose, I guess. Kind of a waste of power. So now that I have got my 4th orb up, I can completely skip the island that's in the northeast, which is actually where the teleporter goes from the 2nd island. This goes to the northeast, and then it goes to this one that I just cleared in the west. And it's actually easier to clear the one in the west. The one in the northeast is surrounded with lots of units and towers. But with these flying units, you don't even have to bother teleporting in, because you can just fly in, drop Sunstriders from the dropship, and build anything that you need, and summon in anything that you need. We're getting yet another Raven ship from the west, it looks like. I'm setting up for, and bringing in another giant worm. And one of the things I was trying to do right there, actually I moved away the giant worms for a while, I was trying to summon a Colossus on that little island there. I wanted to use the Death Ray's leech guns to suck the health out of the Colossus, and I wasn't able to summon the Colossus on that little island. I couldn't find a open space enough where it would let me summon it, so I had to bring the dragons back down and summon in another giant worm to take out that Raven ship. Whoops, I skipped past one of the anti-air towers, and then whoops again, there's a Moloch there, Bandit Tortigun shooting at me, so I had to send my dragons back up north, and whoops again, I put the Regrowth spell down too far behind them, so it looks like they're not getting the full benefit of that Regrowth spell as they move forward here. Really sloppy gameplay here. I know you can do better than this. And I know you can do it faster too, because actually if you allow a couple of the bandit ships to come in to this island, you can finish this off much, much faster than I did. I was actually going out and killing every bandit ship, every Raven ship that came in, and that's really unnecessary. Now the units on this island, this is the last island before Mo, And the units here are very strong. You have a bunch of Era 4 units, the Tortaguns, you have the Bandit Snipers who will use their special attack mercilessly. You've got some more of those Bandit Lieutenants with their boom attacks. And this Colossus is barely able to hold his own, even with the regrowth spell on him. I had to use some crowd control, I had to use Curse of Oink and then a Creeping Paralysis to prevent the Sky Hunters from paralyzing my Colossus and making it useless. And while the Colossus is finishing off the ground forces here, I had to send off my worms up to the northwest to take out another Raven ship. But again, as I say, I didn't really have to do that. I could have let the Raven ship come on in and killed it when I got here, and it would have saved me some time because I would have had the worms here helping my Colossus. So you get another oops in this replay. Now there's 2 Tortaguns banging on the Colossus, and the Sky Hunter got him with the Paralyze, and the Tortaguns finish him off. Poor guy. But, oh, no, it was a Bombard that finished him off. But the giant worms will get revenge for him here, finishing off all of the remaining ground buildings, and taking out the healing pools before the Bandit Snipers, and those, you got to get to those Bandit Snipers pretty quick, because they can put the hurt even on these Exile flying units. So I guess I heard... so the island around Mo is cleared now. And I guess I heard the call that there was another ship coming in from the west, yet again. The direction the ships come from, by the way, is random. So you may not get the same series of ships that you see in this replay. They can come in from any side. I've had them come in from all different sides, on different replays, different sides. But I've got my giant worms waiting there. And now I brought in another Colossus to build those power wells, even though I didn't really need to, because I've got massive amounts of power right now. It looks like I'm definitely well into 4 digits worth of power. I split up my giant worms because Blight's fleet is on his way, and they come in from all different directions. So I split them up, and some of them head north, some of them head south, and we're gonna head off multiple Raven ship groups at the same time. Now here there's 3 Raven ships coming in here, and 2 Raven ships coming in here, and I used the regrowth in the place with 2 Raven ships instead of the place with 3 Raven ships. Another little oops there. Not a good move, but I got a Time Shifter Spirit here, so he can heal those giant worms up. And again, I took the Death Ray here next to the Colossus that I had summoned in, and I was going to sacrifice the Colossus and using the Death Ray's leech guns so I could show off the Death Ray one-shotting some of these Raven ships, but I just waited too long, and the Raven ships were coming in too fast, so I had to send the giant worms after them. Now the giant worms are joining up in the middle of the map, finishing the Raven ships that came in from the east, and now heading for the ones that are coming in from the north and the northeast. And that's the last 2 groups of Raven ships, and once they're down, it's all over. Now, actually, I kind of cheated in this map. I wouldn't call it really an exploit. I'd call it an efficient way to finish the map. There we go, all the Raven ships are down, and this is basically the end of the map. But I did miss one of the objectives. One of the objectives is actually to use all the teleporters and secure all the islands with teleporters. But if you get to this point and you finish off all the Raven ships and Mo teleports away, you win the map anyway. So you actually don't even have to go to that northeast island at all if you use this strategy of bringing in giant worms and using them all over the map. So there you have it, the last single-player PvE nature replay for now, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've found my replays helpful. Coming up soon, I'm hoping to do some PvP replays. There's a tournament coming up on the forums, and also I want to solo some multiplayer maps, so look forward to those. And please come by the Battleforge forums, the PvE forum, and request anything you'd like to see in the YouTube replays thread.